Hello, I'm Jill Baird. Welcome back if you've been here before. Nice to meet you if this is your first time joining us. This here is Charlie, and I'm going to be mean and take her bone because the last thing that we need during a yoga flow is for her chomping away on that thing. So today's yoga flow is focused on hips and low back, so working on a little bit of stability for those muscle groups and then flexibility in some stretches. It's different than a traditional yoga flow in that we're going to be working for 55 seconds during each posture, and then we'll have 5 seconds to transition to our next posture. We'll hear a nice gentle little bell that will signal that it's time to move on. You don't need any equipment other than a mat. And I always encourage music during your classes, whatever you like to listen to. It does not have to be anything, yoga or meditative. It could be any type of music that you enjoy listening to, or alternatively, especially in a yoga class, using your breath as a music is always an excellent option as well. Go grab your mat and turn your music on if you're going to play some, and then meet me back here. All right, we are going to get started down on the mat in a bridge pose, which isn't necessarily a stretch, but it's definitely a great way to mobilize and warm up all of the important muscle groups that we're going to be stretching today. So heels in towards the glutes, pressing through all four corners of the feet as you squeeze your buns and lift. And then inhaling to articulate your spine down, one vertebra at a time. So very slow and controlled. And then rather than thrusting our hips up to the ceiling so far that we compromise our low back, let's use our glute strength here to stabilize our low back. All right, now we're going to come into a broken bridge. Walk your feet to the wide edges of your mat and allow your knees to fall in towards one another. Bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly, and you can close your eyes or you can keep your eyes open. And let's take some deep cleansing breaths here. Nice, deep inhale through the nose, dragging that breath down into your belly. And an open mouth exhale, make a sound as you empty out with breath. Again, deeper, fuller inhale through the nose, bringing in even more breath, feeling the right palm lift towards the ceiling. And powerful, controlled, open mouth exhale. And let it go. Deeper, fuller inhale through the nose. Maybe even imagine drawing that breath down into your outer hips, which are probably feeling a nice stretch here. And an open mouth exhale. All right, go ahead and bring your arms down by your side. And we're going to come into some windshield wipers. And if it feels better, you can cactus your arms. Inhaling as the knees gently fall to one side, and exhaling as they come up through center. Doing your best to keep your low back flat on the mat. So if that means that the knees don't come all the way down to the mat, then the knees don't come all the way down to the mat. Remember, this is gentle stretching. We're not wrenching. We're not forcing. All right, and now we're going to come into a holding that stretch towards the left. And you can gaze towards the right. And if it feels good, you can bring the sole of your right foot to rest on your left inner thigh. Or alternatively, you can bring the pinky edge of the left foot to rest on the right knee. And then just slowing your breath, continuing those full inhales and the steady, controlled exhales. And if you'd like to seal your lips for the breath, you can seal your lips. Or if you prefer to practice with an open mouth, you can practice with an open mouth. Just being mindful that we're drawing the breath down into the belly. All right, knees back through center, reset. And then both knees fall towards the right, gaze can be towards the left, and you can either bring the sole of the left foot to rest on the right thigh, or you can bring the outer edge of the right foot to rest just above the left knee. Think about lengthening with your next inhale from that left hip all the way up to your left shoulder. And exhaling, relaxing the back of the shoulders, relaxing the back of the neck. Ignoring any chaos that's going on around you, because it's always going on around us. And yoga is being able to focus inward despite what's going on around you. All right, we're going to come into a figure 4, thread the needle on the right. So bringing the right ankle to just above the left knee, flex the right toes back towards the right knee. And if your hip and low back are extra sensitive, you're going to stay here. If you have a little bit extra space, on an exhale, use that core strength to draw the right knee in just a bit closer towards your chest, and then interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Continue matching the count of your exhale to the count of your inhale, and doing your best to fill up with breath on each inhale. Oftentimes we breathe very shallow into just our chest. And it's amazing how restorative, how calming it is to breathe all the way down into the belly. Okay, cross the left or the right knee entirely over the left. So you can bring your right hand to your left shin and your left hand to your right shin, and keeping that low back flat on the mat, hug your knees in towards your chest. If you have a regular yoga practice and you're aware of cow face posture, Gomukhasana, you can take this deeper into a reclined cow face by sliding your fingertips all the way down to the pinky edge of each foot, and then handlebarring those toes in towards the shoulders. If you have no idea whatsoever what I am talking about, then you are in the perfect position right here with hand on opposite shin, snuggling those shoulders down away from the ears. All right, uncross, take a minute to bring the soles of both feet to the mat. And we're gonna come into that figure 4 right here on the left side. Ooh, I'm feeling particularly tight in this outer left hip. So I'm gonna hang out here for just a moment, really focusing my attention on guiding this outer left knee towards the top left corner of my mat. Take an inhale, fill up, and as you exhale and empty out completely, bring that right knee in towards your chest. Thread the left hand through the left figure 4 that you've created, and then mindfully press that outer left knee towards the top left corner of the mat as you gently guide the right knee in towards your shoulder, towards your chest. All right, unbind the hands, and we're just gonna slip the left knee over the right, Right hand finds the front of the left shin. Left hand finds the front of the right shin here. It's a very pretzel-y posture. And if you took full Gomukhasana on the other side, go ahead and do that on this side. Otherwise, I want you to bring your attention to your low back, making sure that it's nice and snuggled onto the mat. And then bringing your attention back to your breath and noticing if it's become short and choppy. And if so, that might mean that you just need to bring your hand to opposite knee rather than bringing them down to your shins, which creates more of a deeper stretch into the hips and the low back. So our breath is a really good guide in our stretching and yoga postures, because if it becomes short and choppy, then that means we've taken it too far. All right, our final posture is going to be a happy baby, and you're going to bring your hands either to your shins, your ankles, or the pinky edge of each foot, using your elbows to open your knees, making sure that your chest stays nice and open and that we're not hunching up. So if you're hunching up or your butt is lifting way up, that's just your body telling you to bring your hands down your shins or to your ankles rather than to your feet. It's the same stretch, nice deep inner thigh opener. Such a nice massage for the low back here, and then a really deep hip flexor stretch. And this is our final posture. If you have extra time and you want to hug yourself into a tiny ball and take a Shavasana, please enjoy as long of a Shavasana as you can. Otherwise, cross your ankles, rock and roll up to a seat. And friends, thank you so much for practicing with me, for taking this 10 minutes for yourself to give your hips and low back some love. Next week, I have a really good shoulder and upper body stretch, 10 minutes. If you're someone who does a lot of push-ups, a lot of burpees, this is good for you, okay? Meet me back here next Friday for that stretch. Until then, friends, take good care. I'll see you soon.